The summer 2025 anime season is officially upon us, and so many anime, and I mean so many anime, are going to be airing this season. Many much anticipated sequels of hype anime and anime that haven't come out in a little bit with the new season, as well as brand new anime that are either being hyped up by manga readers, originals that seem interesting, or much anticipated donghua adaptations. Now, if you've never heard of this word before, donghua is basically just a term that we've used to talk about Chinese animation or Chinese anime. Similar how we have anime for Japanese animation and all that stuff. Donghua is just Chinese animation, Chinese anime, and it has been on the rise over the last couple of years. Obviously, you've probably heard of Link Click by now. If you're in the anime community at all, someone must have mentioned it. And if you're watching Anime Weekly right now, you have probably seen and heard about To Be Hero X, which has been airing since the spring of 2025 and is currently rolling over into its second core right now in the summer of 2025, making it another much anticipated show, as well as the second donghua that's currently airing side by side that many people are watching. But there are a lot of other donghua that unfortunately, at least to my knowledge, aren't officially available in a lot of places. You can find some on YouTube or on Bilibili at very low quality, unless you pay for a subscription to the Chinese streaming service Bilibili, which this isn't an original net animation anyway, but still, you have to get another streaming service. It's a whole mission and a half to watch a bunch of these donghua, but it has been hyped up with a lot of web novel readers that Lord of Mysteries will be one of the biggest hits once it's animated, once it's brought to us, and based off these first two episodes initially, I can see the hype. Now, I will be honest, I was kind of confused with it, but then I learned that Crunchyroll apparently used ChatGPT for the subtitles for these first two episodes of Lord of Mysteries. Hopefully that's not the standard going forward. But yeah, that is kind of a messed up thing for Crunchyroll to do, and it really, really pisses me off, and a lot of Lord of Mystery fans I've seen online are understandably infuriated that they went the lazy route for this much anticipated series, but that's besides the point right now. Let's talk about the actual anime itself. Before I dive into my first thoughts on Lord of Mysteries, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps, and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. Also, I am starting to do reaction content on my Patreon, where I watch these episodes, give my full live reaction to these episodes, once they release. These are going to be up on Patreon exclusively. I was originally going to do episodes 1 and 2 and not do this first impressions video until much later, until there were more episodes, but my mic quality, my mic got corrupted with the audio files while I'm recording, so I had to scrap that whole video. So this will be here in its place, and once I get everything figured out, from episode 3 onward, there will be a fresh reaction video for Lord of Mysteries on my Patreon every single week as the anime airs, or every 2 weeks if I want to do every 2 episodes. But I will also be trying to do Gachi anime reactions once that comes out. People want me to talk about that one as well. So Lord of Mysteries, and after that Gachi will end up being anime that I will be reacting exclusively on my Patreon. So if you want to see my reactions to these anime, go and check out my Patreon, link in the description, for only $2 a month on my Guildmate tier. And you also get access to my Patreon-only Discord server, access to videos like this one a lot earlier, whether it be a few days or a week or two earlier than it would appear on YouTube, as well as shoutouts at the end of the video and names at the end of the credits at the end of my videos. It'd really help a lot, and I do want to use this as a way to help experiment and do more videos for you guys as well, outside of what I standardly talk about. But that out of the way, let's jump into my first impressions of the Lord of Mysteries. So the Lord of Mysteries, just going to get this out of the way, is an isekai. Yeah, it's an isekai donghua, and I was not expecting this whatsoever. I went into this series completely blind. I knew the MC was in someone else's body, but I didn't fully clock in that it was a isekai story. I just was assuming maybe it could have been a reincarnation story or something like that. But no, it's a full-blown isekai, with the main character being from seemingly modern-day China. And from what we got from the first episode, he did some sort of ritual thing in the real world that somehow got him to get isekai'd into this brand new world, which is essentially a Victorian-era steampunk supernatural gothic series with horror elements. We're in a Victorian-era steampunk world that has supernatural powers and mysticism demons, and the like, with seemingly, well, gods of this universe potentially, and multiple different supernatural powers. And our main character woke up in the body of someone named Klein, whose identity he took up after he kind of, shot himself in the head, along with seemingly the deaths of Klein's friends of this world, seemingly like doing some sort of ritual, or maybe they were possessed or something. That's one of the bigger mysteries of what happened within the first episode. What happened to Klein and his friends? What's the mystery behind all that? Were they trying to do some sort of big summoning ritual, or were they possessed by something? And once our main character got reincarnated into Klein's body, his wounds healed. But the interesting thing, the memories of his past life, he still has them, but the memories of Klein are relatively hazy, but basic information he can recall, like his friends' names, his sister in this reality, Melissa, and a few other things. But there's still spots in his memory, like what he was doing prior to getting himself shot in the head. And he ends up getting himself involved with a organization called the Nighthawks, after he seemingly awakens this bizarre ability that ends up allowing him access to what's known as the gray fog, which seems to be like some sort of pocket dimensions or a mental scape, where he seemingly is like the god of this universe, and he will aura farm. He will aura farm the hell out of this, as he ends up meeting two new characters who essentially become part of his little inner council, and I feel like they will be important main characters, obviously, going forward, part of the true main group that works underneath him or with him as we figure out the mysteries of this world. But we end up learning after these interactions about Beyonders, people with supernatural powers that gain these abilities by taking on one of the 22 main paths that you get by drinking a particular potion. And we end up seeing that our main character takes the seer path, which seemingly, from what I can tell, gives him some incredibly powerful perceptual abilities, but there could be more. And the mystery behind these paths, these Beyonders, is also part of the series, because as we go forward, many of these organizations, as well as these seers, seem to be based off of or around the different gods or followings of this world, at least based off of the basic information that I could see in this anime. And throughout the series, it seems like we will not only be getting Klein discovering the mysteries of the world, but discovering what is up with Klein and the secrets of his abilities and the secrets of what the Beyonder paths and the sequences are. And this is incredibly interesting. I like mystery series. Mystery series, if done well, not only catch you by surprise, but get you engrossed in the plot, making you want to figure out what's going on, with there being enough information here to give you guys guesses on theories that you can put together yourself on what could happen in the future. We don't have a lot of information yet, but there's just enough intrigue that I really do want to see and discover what happens next. And Klein being part of this organization that ends up investigating these demons and mysticism seems really intriguing. And everything with the Grey Fog and the two subordinates, that they just get the code names from the tarot cards, the girl who is going to be Justice, and the sailor guy who goes by the name of the Hangman, with Klein taking on the codename as the Fool, as the leader on this, potentially trying to figure out things their own way, as apparently he sets up these psychic meetings now in order for them to discuss things. And this is definitely interesting, as he's basically having his own secret organization being built up in the shadows, while he's a part of another secret organization, secret police force type deal, in this new Victorian steampunk city, with all these mysterious happenings going on right now. And the tarot cards seem to play a massive role, at least for the main character, as he is obviously the Fool, the beginning of the tarot card decks. And there's a whole lot of stuff that can be dived into for the tarot cards and what they can mean. But I'm making a guess here that it has to do with his abilities, potentially, since it's been incredibly hammered in that the Fool card is just very important. And I want to figure out more. I want to see what Klein himself can do and what abilities he can potentially unlock, as it seems that with the word of sequence, with the highest number being the lowest rank, with the higher number you get being the stronger you get, I'm interested to see if there is evolutions in powers and new abilities, because from what we've seen from the Beyonders in the series so far, outside of Klein, it's absolutely insane, to the point of manipulating dreams, to the point of just literally teleportation. All this looks absolutely incredible, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the animation quality, the direction, the soundtrack. First off, soundtrack, really, really good, fits the vibe of the show, and really sets the tone. The opening sequence, that I guess it's also ending sequence, because in both episode 1 and 2, it played towards the end of the episode before a post-credit scene, looks absolutely phenomenal. It's catchy, and really makes you question what you're going to be watching. Certain aspects with like the gears and stuff kind of reminds me of Steins Gate in terms of its opening style, but like very briefly, that's just me probably. I'm probably the only one that's thinking that. But either way, opening sequence was great, and the music was also fantastic. The animation and directing in these episodes is just next level, like to the point where I'm asking, what are they feeding these animators, and what can they do to make every other animated series be around as good as this? Because this is something that a lot of DONGHUA have had going for them, is that there's just been a lot, especially with like To Be Hero X, and as well as Link Click, and also I think Fog Hill, The Five Elements is what one was called. I haven't watched it, but I've seen clips. It looks absolutely fantastic. But all these have like insane animation quality and great direction behind them, to the point where it feels like these DONGHUA, these TV shows, are like movie quality. And Lord of Mysteries just seems like the best one so far. From how the buildings are shot, from how we have camera movement and camera angles, how the fights are animated, how we have specific scenes that are being represented for psychological aspects, for realizing things, flashbacks. This and the special effects for the abilities and certain aspects that are shown within the series. Heck, there's one point where we follow basically the POV of a rat. We have a camera following a rat throughout multiple instances in a singular shot, and it looks absolutely incredible. This series has such high animation quality that I don't know how they're going to keep this up. But apparently, from what I can tell, this season might already be done for Lord of Mysteries, and apparently it's supposed to be like 24 episodes with a little over 30 minutes per episode. Season 2 apparently is currently like in production, with a third season being planned. And from what I know, the web novel is finished already, from what I can believe. Web novel readers, please let me know if it is not finished, just so I don't accidentally give out wrong information. But it's true that the series is just incredibly far in production and has been scheduled very far in advance, and we're probably going to be seeing a few years of just really high quality stuff coming out of China for this DONGHUA especially. And I am incredibly excited to see what's going to happen next. Now, I really do hope Crunchyroll just stops using ChatGPT and AI to make these automatic translations, because the dialogue feels a lot of very stilted as well. Now, one last thing. This is actually the first time I've been watching a DONGHUA in its native language. When I binge watched Link Click, and right now I'm watching To Be Hero X, I watched them in the dub. To Be Hero X has kind of just been doing the simuldub. Link Click had the dub come out 3 weeks or 2 weeks after the episode initially comes out with the sub. But by the time I binge watched that, it was all in dub. But regardless of the fact, it definitely feels different listening to the original Chinese. But even with that, I'm still engrossed in this, and it will take some getting used to, but I am liking the voices for a lot of these characters, and there is a good performance done by many of the cast members. And depending how I end up liking the rest of the season, I'm probably going to rewatch this in dub when the dub comes out, and I'll recommend this show most likely to some of my friends or that like anime, or people that are interested in anime or aren't interested in anime will get engrossed with just how high quality the series is. But either way, my first impressions of Lord of Mysteries, Easy 9. Great presentation, really cool characters, great mystery. I'm loving every second of it. While I don't absolutely know everything that's going on right now, and I think that's kind of the point, maybe a rewatch will help that. I'm invested. I'm intrigued, and I want to see more. And I cannot wait for the next few episodes of Lord of Mysteries. It's just going to be a hell of a lot of fun to just think about things, talk about them. It's going to be great. But what do you guys think of Lord of Mysteries? Are you watching it right now? Are you a fan of the original web novel? Or are you not watching it right now, but this video kind of got you a bit intrigued? Let me know in the comment section down below. And once more, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps, and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel, and shows you want to see more. And with all that said and done, I hope you all have an awesome day.